Portland, not the only city facing a crisis. Chicago, under the pathetic leadership there of liberal mayor. All these cities, liberal leadership for decades. Mayor lightweight at this point. Violent crime spiraling out of control. This morning, three Chicago police officers shot while making an arrest, coming as the city is forced to add 200 police to the downtown tourist district amid another surge of criminal activity there. Carjackings, assaults, stabbing. Meanwhile, the office of City Alderman Raymond Lopez was just vandalized yet again. This is the third time. Why? He called Chicago lawless, slammed Lightfoot for failing the people of Chicago. Joining us now with more is Alderman Raymond Lopez, along with Fox News contributor Dan Bongino. Alderman, you're a Democrat. You know, what I hear you say is we've been watching the shootings, just pick the number. What's it going to be this weekend? 60, 70, 80 people shot. How many will die and how many will be children? You want your city safe, and you're now under assault for that?
Yeah, for the third time in a month, my office has been targeted. I've been targeted for standing up to the gangbangers who have made it their mission to terrorize my communities. And protecting my residents, defending the safety and security of our city should not be a partisan issue. But we've seen time and again my mayor and just across the board political incompetence for people making excuses to score political points at the expense of our residents, our children, our seniors who are all dying and terrified on the streets of the city.
I watched this, Dan Bongino. I just cannot believe that you have, it's a myth that this is happening. Obama is saying, they're going after peaceful protesters with tear gas and batons, and it's just a lie. And then politicizing it to the level that he did, which, by the way, is predictable. Every 2 years, every 4 years.
Sean, I agree with you. I really never thought the day would come where I would wake up in an America where in cities that are losing black men and women, white men and women in droves to shootings, people being mugged, raped, assaulted on the streets, that the cops would be the enemy. The cops would be the enemy to the point where you have the Speaker of the House referring to federal agents. By the way, Sean, the same designation of the federal agents that protect Nancy Pelosi, those Capitol Hill police, I don't know if she told you that, as stormtroopers, referred to as an occupying force. Literally, cops are there for the police. Folks, just think about this. How does this sound to them?
The enemy,
the worst day of your life.
They're the enemy. Joe Biden.
But, Sean, they're there every single day. You're assaulted. Who's there first? It's not your mama. It ain't daddy. It's the cops. You're burglarized your house. Who shows up? The cops. God forbid your kid is kidnapped or missing. Who shows up?
Ask this.
The cops.
Alderman, you're a Democrat. Let me ask you a question. These mayors, they're not doing a thing to protect people. They're demonizing the police. Police they're literally disarming them. You heard the Seattle police chief this week. You going to stay a Democrat? Do you think they're protecting the people in your city?
I believe that there's a value to the Democratic Party.
What are they doing to save lives? That's their number one duty. Well, what are they doing to save and protect lives?
I'm not going to argue that the leadership that we have is failing in that regard. What they are doing is demonizing law enforcement that we have worked with for decades. In my communities, like in Back of the Yards, which was one of the most dangerous communities in the city of Chicago, my local police had working relationships with the DEA, ATF, and FBI, trying to break down the gang and drug cartels and syndicates in those neighborhoods, and we have worked well together to do that. What I believe is that we need to show that as a party
is the party that is aiding and abetting anarchy. Is that a true statement?
There are some in my party, yes, but that does not represent the depth and breadth of all of us.
The leadership in these cities and Joe Biden, are they, with their comments and Obama's comments, are they helping?
I don't think their comments, and more importantly, I don't think their silence is helping, because everyday Chicagoans, whether they're Democrat or Republican, want to feel safe. They want their children to come home, and we have to confront the enemy within our midst.
Joe and Barack did nothing to help your city. They barely mentioned it for 8 years.